Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Phoenix Point. I've been away for a couple of days, just absolutely sick with grief over what happened to poor Crypto, and also other sickness, but mostly Crypto. The loss of Crypto was a huge blow to us, like maybe irreplaceable. We're gonna have to soldier on, because, you know, the game's not over yet. But I do feel very bad about it, and we're gonna have to replace Crypto somehow. Not exactly sure how we're gonna pull that off. I don't think we have anybody recruited who's really ready to step into the spot. I mean, we have a couple of priests, right? Well, we have a priest and a berserker, either one of which could theoretically be trained up into a Crypto, but they're both level 1. Do we have anybody who's leveled up a little closer? Not really. Nobody of the appropriate classes. Oh my god, the scrolling. Again, this issue where, like, the cursor lands between the objects, and so the list as a whole stops scrolling, because the list is not itself an object. It's, what a frustrating way to build that thing. So yeah, we're just going to have to start leveling somebody up basically from scratch, which we're not going to be able to do until we get Manticore 2 back to society. Part of me wants to just go and explore, and there are a lot of types of missions that this crew could do right now. In particular, I'm just thinking, like, if there's a base down here or something, I don't want to have to fly another Manticore down here to get it later. But also, we run a non-zero risk of having people get murdered if we're not... We should just head back to society, no matter how inefficient it might feel. Where do we have to go to bring this mission back? Alright, let's go ahead and fly... Wait, really? The best way for you to get here is to fly in from the north? That doesn't feel right. Yeah, I guess that's quite a distance, huh? Well, that's no good. Alright, well then you guys need to get back to, Criminy. Man, our bases are really poorly distributed over the map. Alright, you guys gotta make it back to Summerall Memorial, I guess? And while you're working on that extremely long trip, these guys are flying down here because they're still looking for this other base. We do have a Pandoran Citadel right there, and this is still a lair. And we gotta deal with this Citadel at some point. I guess the crew of the Tiamat 3 might be up to something like that, maybe. I'm unsure on that one. That one makes me a little nervous, and you guys are flying to a thing already. Yeah, alright. Yeah, the crew of the Tiamat 3... I mean, they're not low level. Not anymore. And they are mostly at full health. The Armadillo's a little bit damaged. Hold on, let's have a look at who's on the Tiamat. First of all, Ted Tedious here should get leveled up. So, now that things are a little bit different, now that Dash is no longer, like, totally game-breakingly overpowered, what makes sense for a sniper? We've had a lot of luck with Sniper Infiltrator, but to some degree that's because of a level 7 skill. So, maybe not the best thing right this second. Does this team have an Armor Breaker? Obviously, Armor Break's a little bit better on somebody who has, okay, they have Fat T. He should be pretty okay at it. Yeah, Armor Break's a little bit less good with a single-shot weapon, but being able to do it reliably at a distance is certainly cool. Yeah, they don't really need that. We probably don't need Jetpack. Dash is still very good, to be clear. I think I'm going to go ahead and go Infiltrator, though. There's some real useful stuff in Infiltrator. Like, Deploy Decoy is potentially good. We're looking for that, but, like, also Vanish is great. Let's go ahead and pick up Deploy Decoy. Do we want Surprise Attack? I mean, a sniper is going to be able to take advantage of this at least some of the time. It's a pretty low skill point cost as well. We'll go ahead and grab that. And then I don't think I want to reduce the accuracy of a sniper. Turns out accuracy is pretty important. Who would have thought? Let's go ahead and grab one more point of willpower, and then... I think we'll just leave you for now. Obviously, I'm a little leery of spending too many skill points out of Phoenix's pool. Wait, did I have... Am I remembering correctly that I had a couple of people where I was going to think about what class to make them, and then I got kind of distracted by 2 days of not being very much in control of my faculties, and I forgot to do that, because that might have happened. Alright, an infiltrator, multi-classing into, let's see. Obviously, there's some cachet there with armor break, and it is good to have a couple of armor breakers. But again, probably not a great weapon loadout for armor break. Also, your crossbow should actually be loaded, please. What would heavy training get you? Hold on, let me remember what all the classes do here. Show me a heavy. Heavy would get you Warcry. I mean, Brawler is very whatever. Boom Blast is pretty bad for your role. Inspire is fine. The problem with the infiltrator weapons is that we get a lot of kills not during our turn, and I'm betting that Inspire doesn't trigger on that. So not a good fit, heavy and infiltrator. Assault would, of course, give us dash and the ability to inspire other people. I don't remember what the ability is called now, but the thing that gives people more action points, which definitely has value. The thing is, relatively speaking, infiltrator action points are at a premium. They're better than most other people's action points. You know, to be perfectly honest with you, priest training's not a bad idea, especially given the limited range of some of the priest abilities, and infiltrator being able to pull them off might be a good idea. Yeah, I like that quite a bit, actually. Let's grab Mind Control and Induce Panic. We'll see how that works. And then we have one more. Yeah, Fat T does not have a multi-class yet. No, never mind. Fat T totally has a multi-class. Did I... No, that was it. And there are people on the Manticore 1 who also need a multi-class. You know what? We'll worry about this later. Manticore 1's going to be in the air for a long time. So do I want to finish searching for this base, or do we want to go ahead and turn these people to the task of blowing up Ascilla right now? Honestly, that might be a little bit much. Let's just fall back here, keep doing the stuff that we're doing. We can have the crew of Manticore 2 deal with these citadels. We're not in that much of a hurry, I don't think. Alright, we reached this thing. Hopefully this won't turn out to be too dangerous. Our operatives land near a cluster of vehicles. There's a group of refugees here, perhaps 20 or more. Their leader, a woman called Amma Erin, is cautious at first, but greets our team with respect. Are you people with Isaiah Thompson? He came through here a few days back, showed up at just the right time to help all these people. Said he'd send someone to repair our vehicles. I don't know if that's the name of a person that we're supposed to know, because again, I've been out for a couple of days, but I'll repair the vehicles. 15 tech is like a total non-cost. Are you sure he didn't send you? Aaron asks. Well, then we just got extra lucky, I suppose. Life's funny sometimes. One moment everything's going wrong, next you run in several heroes on the same day. Here, have some of our supplies. Thompson left us more than we need. Honestly, we don't need that, but okay, thank you. And then we're just continuing to search Southern Asia, which is a real broad classification of geographical areas. What is... Is that we just finished the search? Yes, it is. Okay. It turns out it's New Jericho. They have an elite training facility that is almost finished. It's alright, we don't want one of their elite soldiers anyway at this point. Come on, easy XP opportunity. Okay, well, we found the base. This is Southern Asia, apparently, because that completed that objective. That's not what I would have called that. Oh, no, wait, okay, it was over here that finished. Yeah, that's totally Southern Asia. Fair enough. So, what is... Medical bay. Okay, so like pretty basic. It has a functional power generator, which is nice. We're definitely going to want to get a mist repeller online as quickly as possible. And then that's going to leave us at still an awful lot of power left. So why don't we build another fab plant? We probably don't really need more research. Although I guess research is our, what do you call it? Objective bottleneck. So maybe that's also important. But we are short on fabrication plants right now. This is going to drop us down to 89 materials left. You know what? That's fine. That is totally fine. Okay, so there's another Phoenix base somewhere in Australia, and Australia has largely been left untouched by the mist, and it's mostly controlled by people who are quite friendly to us. So why don't we start by moving down to Australia? I guess I really am leaving that Citadel for a different team to deal with.
The disciples of Anu Haven is under attack.
How bad is it? Attacking and defending force points roughly equal. I mean, it's going to take 10 years for the Tiamat to be able to fly that distance. So I guess you guys are out of luck on getting helped. Manticore 1 could get over there, probably. And maybe should. We'll fly in that direction as soon as we finish this exploration. Our operatives have set down outside an abandoned shopping complex. Looks like the main building here used to be a hardware store. There's bound to be some items and materials we can use, so go ahead and take them all. Unfortunately, I mean, there's some materials. I was going to say, unfortunately, those are small numbers, but hey, materials, right? Alright, I'm going to have Manticore 1 fly in this direction, and hopefully we'll get here right as the battle winds down and there's like one attacking force point left. It'd be really cool if we could participate in a battle that we were basically guaranteed to win. I'm not ready to jump in just yet, sorry to say. I'm going to employ a little bit of discretion here, which is to say cowardice. So yeah, we'll just roll time forward a little bit while we hover outside, and hopefully we just hope that they don't notice that we're just hovering outside and not helping. Hold on, don't want to pass any time while I'm not looking at this thing though. Alright, defending force points 2. Okay, medical bays all up and running. That's great. We're just going to keep pausing and unpausing here until I see defending force points 1, and that's when we're going to jump in. Boy, I sure hope it works like that. I hope they don't fall from... there's still 4 attacking force left. That's a shame, but I think let's go ahead and do it. Probably the Scarab can deal with most of 4 attacking points, right? Threat level low, the reward has decreased significantly, but the real reward from this is going to be experience points. So I'm okay with that. You should have a grenade or something, though. And I know we built some grenades. Do I actually have a single grenade? Okay. Why don't we give you... yeah, a harrower. I like a good harrower. And then, we only have 1 harrower mag? Well, take it. And then you have your grenade launcher, which I'm sure you love, and we love for you to have it. And then, so you have a missile. I mean, you're at your encumbrance limit, so I probably shouldn't give you more stuff. Is this? Oh, flamethrower fuel. I feel like I keep doing that. I keep looking at that same item and going, hey, what is that thing? Okay, so it looks like everybody's basically ready to go. If we're going to press a second class on these people, this would be the moment, because we're about to send them into combat. Feels like a thing I probably ought to do. So, Assault. We've had a lot of luck with Bave as an Assault Berserker. It's sort of lucky that as the campaign has worn on, Dash got patched down into being a skill that's merely pretty good, and then as that happened, Armor Break really overtook it in importance, which has kept Bave at the top of our importance chart. So I guess having another one of those guys makes some sense, right? Like, Armor Break's very, very good. And then, honestly, Close Quarters Evade, also pretty good. Pretty good enough that I'm willing to spend Phoenix points on it. And he has heavy weapons proficiency, so we could do a sort of a close-range machine gun or cannon type build with him. I'm not going to change his equipment up too much right now. We could, though, right? Like, he has a ton of strength. What if, instead of this harrower, we went for a cannon? Or maybe a machine gun. Shred 2 in a 12-round burst? Like, what does his weight look like if we do that? He has plenty of room for it. And he has dash and everything. Right, that's the right bullets for that thing. Yeah, okay, that's options. The Demos is accurate out to a pretty serious range, and then when he gets up close, he can machine gun people. I like it. I like the basic idea of that. And then... Marina. Marina, what do you want? I mean, we could just go Assault, right? The dash is obviously useful. Even with it costing an action point, it's still usable with the grenade launcher. Priest training is unlikely to be valuable, given the high action point cost and ideally long range of the weaponry we're using. Sniper training probably doesn't give us a lot of value. Honestly, is assault training the only really sensible choice for you? Hold on, where's a sniper? Let me look at the sniper stuff here. I guess quick aim. You know, quick aim's not bad. Like, for anybody, obviously. The Overwatch thing is not a real option. Master Marksman is relevant. Weak Spot is definitely relevant. Don't see him use a mark for death much, but honestly, like... Quick aim as a cheaper... I mean, I was going to say as a cheaper Boom Blast that only works once, it's still a lot... It's a lot worse than Boom Blast, because it doesn't give the range bonus. If it still increased accuracy, it would at least, you know, it would have a role. Yeah, I don't know. You'd basically just be taking this for Master Marksman and Weak Spot. It's not horrible. But it probably is just assault training, right? Assault training is so good for heavies because of how good dash still is. Which is maybe the best possible argument for dash having been nerfed. What do you get out of Infiltrator? I mean, somebody who's an Infiltrator. That would give... Right, we just looked at these, duh. I mean, like, Vanish. Sneak Attack is fun with it, but honestly, this is probably worse than Sniper. Yeah, it's tough for me to see an option here that's better than picking up Dash and also other stuff. Let's pick up Dash. And, like, Return Fire doesn't... I'm not going to spend on Return Fire, because Medusa's never going to be holding a weapon that's capable of Return Fire. Alright. And yeah, you don't have an open slot, but that's... Or you don't have an item in a slot, but that's totally intentional at this point. Let's do it. 4 attacking force points. Like I said, probably the Scarab can handle most of this on its own. This will be a good opportunity to get some low-level dudes some XP so that we can hopefully start replacing our losses. We need to get a reliable pipeline up of low-level dudes to high-level dudes, because as it is right now, it's very difficult to replace losses, and it looks like losses are going to become more frequent, because the missions are definitely getting harder and denser. Like the thing we did in Antarctica was just an incredible number of units. Like, a number of units that feels like it should not have been. What an absurd number of units. I suppose that's probably design intent, right? They're supposed to feel overwhelming at this point, and we gotta be close to the end of the objectives list, right? How long could this game possibly be? Okay, that's the dangerous Chiron. So that's a problem. Gotta be real cautious with this, because obviously the moment it knows we're here is the moment it must die. But we don't really have the tools to kill one of those things quickly on this team. Our sniper doesn't even have quick aim.
Here.
I think it may be the case that we just have to endure a turn of fire from that thing, which sucks a huge amount, but I really don't see another way around it. We could try to just break down its armor, like roll toward it so that I have maximum accuracy, just shatter it as fast as we can, probably not fast enough to prevent it from getting one shot off. And the fact is, on these defense missions, it does seem like the enemies often always know that we're here, so... he may be aware of us even if we don't do anything to him. Well, that said alerted, so maybe not. The good news is, we disabled his head. The bad news is 350 abdomen health. But with his head disabled, you would think that that would affect his aim. I don't believe that it will, but it should, don't you think? Alright, sniper. Can you snipe him? Can indeed. I don't know that there's a lot of fancy play available here. I think we're pretty much just doing this thing. Just aim for the abdomen and hope. I'm a little... whenever we're in a situation like this and it's not highlighted, it makes me think that we're actually in the hitbox of the thing that I'm aiming through rather than aiming through it like I should be. Which makes me real nervous, but I can't really... I mean, I guess I could step out of cover. As long as this is the only enemy, this isn't a big deal, and it does help my shot a lot. I'm going to go ahead and just take the shot like this. Alright, 84 damage, but which section? I kind of wish it said in the text. Okay, we hit the right spot. Honestly, odds that we would not hit the right spot were quite strong there, so I'm very pleased to see that. And then I'm thinking we're probably looking at a dash here, just because I want to spread out, right? Oh, also because we probably actually are nowhere near firing range, are we?
Doing it?
Oh, you know what? I'm exaggerating. We're not in firing range, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought.
Pushing on.
Still, I think a dash is right, and then we can maybe hit this. We sure hope we can hit this. Okay, it's a pretty good shot, actually. Lots of damage to the legs. No damage at all to the abdomen, but at this point we're looking more at an actual hit point kill than a body part disable sort of strategy. So for you, it's probably also a dash, and then maybe an armor break. Maybe that puts me pretty low on will. Does this position have much of a shot? I'm a little worried the tree is going to be an issue. Can we zoom out a little bit? Oh no, it looks like we're pretty clear of that tree.
Pushing on.
Yeah, the toned down version of dash is still so good that you want to use it like all of the time. It's not a terrible place for it to be in, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and armor break, even though it puts my will in a real questionable sort of spot. Alright, well that dude is definitely going to be out of armor next turn. Or out of abdomen next turn. He gets one shot at us. It's probably going to hurt. I thought there was a non-zero chance he would just run. Okay, pretty minor damage, all things told. The cover issue is maybe salient. Oh, there's two of them. Okay, well that one's just trying to kill mission objectives. This is remaining strength 4, huh? Okay, he needed some will back really badly. Well, I guess let's head over... That was over here, right? Yeah. Guess let's head over this way now. It did seem like this is the only other enemy, though, which is nice. So it doesn't know we're here. We can probably see it this turn, but I'd like it if it didn't see us. And part of me wants to get grenade launcher up on the roof, but I'm also... Oh, wait, maybe we're not alone. That could just be a civilian, though, right? Maybe. I don't know. I might actually want to take it easy here on the forward motion. Let's pull back a little bit. Let's not go as far forward as possible. Alright, we see the foe. We have no reason to believe that it yet sees us. And you are going to jet jump. Aw. If I could have gotten up there, that would have been pretty good. What if I were to dash first? Then I could jump up there, probably. And probably be pretty safe in doing so, although that's so far away from where I need to go that, you know what, it's probably not even worth doing. I will jet jump just for the distance, but I think probably getting up there is a bit of a fool's errand. Alright, so there might be one more enemy, potentially.
Right there.
Let's keep myself in cover, just in case. And you... Alright, get into a position from which you can see the enemy. So it's just trying to hammer its way through this building, because that structure is important to it. We lost that audio cue. Which doesn't make me feel better. Let's just probe a little bit here. So obviously I don't want to fire at maximum range. But also this thing only... It takes 3 action points to shoot the gun, so I guess we're going. I don't actually know how enemy awareness works, I'm realizing. If I just shoot at this thing with the Scarab, but then don't prod it with anybody else, will it be able to shoot at anybody else? Maybe not, right? Oh, what, he's alerted by the rocket launcher? Who could have foreseen this? We're far enough away that I'm concerned about a miss. That's crummy. The shot went off the map, so we didn't get a hit, even though it went off the map in range, like... If that space had been inside of the map, it would have made contact. That's really crummy. That's not how that should work. Well, that makes any kind of play real bad, I think. Anything that isn't just back off. Alright, hold on. Let's send Sebastian indoors. I'm going to use a dash, because we need better information than we have. I'm real curious about the sounds we heard inside. Well, it looks like it maybe wasn't anything. No, at least this approach gives him an opportunity to get close enough to that thing to maybe machine gun it. Oh, there's a siren in here with me. Hey, that's not great. I might grab this harrower. Let's see here. That's a weight neutral swap. I might need this harrower. Okay, so it turns out there were actually several other enemies, but they were not being represented in the enemy turn time because they were not taking any actions other than movement, I guess. It's just like it was able to process those quickly. So there's something else over here by that guy, and also there's a siren. That's a... Is that a retreat kind of problem? The fact that I upset the Chiron is the only reason I'm saying it. I don't think that this is a retreat kind of problem necessarily for this group. I'm going to have the sniper fall way back. I mean, what I'm thinking is we could maybe get a shot through the big windows, but maybe that's unrealistic. We have no idea what this thing's going to do next turn. I'm going to go ahead and fall way back to here. We might be able to get a shot through the window. And you, I don't even know what to do with you now. I mean, like, get all the way over here and we'll figure it out, I guess. And we could just use the building as cover from the Chiron until we can handle this other problem that we've created. Look, I have cover. Because we're aware of the siren, but I don't think it's aware of us. Although it may be soon. Nope, it's aware of us. Somehow. It definitely never became alerted, but it is definitely also aware of us. And that's an Arthron with a shield. Okay, so it's an Arthron that we hit pretty badly accidentally with the missile fire. So not actually a problem. Alright, well, the Scarab is going to have to take a different attack this turn. I need this, right? It fires 2 missiles, so the first one, we're hoping, the first one blows up this section of wall and the second one lands on top of the siren. First one's on target, second one's way off target, hugely off target. So much so that you wonder what the hell happened between those 2 shots. And I can't get a shot. Okay, well, that's pretty bad. Pretty really bad. Okay, if everybody's gonna dramatically miss all of their shots, we might just be doomed. Boy, what do we do about this? And we have so few abilities, you know? Can move to here and try to make it, you know, I can at least have partial cover against the big shot that I know is coming. And then you have nowhere that you can get a shot off from, and if I put you somewhere and try to overwatch you, you'll just end up shooting our guy instead of the enemy. So I move you to here and take a single pistol shot, because why not? I do not think that this is likely to result in anything valuable occurring. Okay, no big surprise there. But at least we're set up for the shot next turn. Alright, let's see how bad this mind control is. Okay, that could have been worse. Pretty good move to cause this guy to act as cover, though. Uh-oh. Well, you know what? This is maybe actually a real good thing for us. Because now we're in a position where we could fire a grenade launcher shot very close. And also use the rocket.
Executing.
This was perhaps a huge error on your part, although there's a non-zero chance that it ends up being really bad for me. Oh! Oh my god! I dropped the roof on it and it actually died. I didn't realize that that kind of damage was modeled. That's so cool. Okay, I feel good about it. I feel good about that outcome. That one particular thing went really well for us. So the Chiron's still over here, presumably. Can we get rid of this Arthron without having to use the Scarab? Because I would love to do that. It looks like the answer to that question is no. But I can drill another 84 damage into its torso, and then I can try to do even more damage.
Enemy hit.
Wow. Solid shooting. Okay, so now we just need a little bit more on you. Unfortunately, it is going to have to... Oh, I really don't want to have to attack with the Scarab. I think what I might do is just roll the Scarab in front of this dude. He doesn't have an attack except for his Poison Spit, and his Poison Spit's not going to be very good against the Scarab. So I kind of think we're going to use it as a blocker against the thing actually getting close enough to spit on the sniper. Enemy spotted. Did you know there's an enemy over there? I mean, can I shoot at the real enemy? Yeah, I may as well, right? This is what I was going to save the rockets for anyway. Okay, again, really frustrating that a shot that definitely hit doesn't hit because the square was slightly outside of the bounds of the level. I guess we'll move over slightly here, just to provide a better wall. And now you're just a blocker. You are not going to be able to hit that shot. Yeah. I guess move so as to get up here? This is not totally ideal. Would be nice if we had more bullets. Yeah, like this thing is trivially dead to the sniper on my next turn. Interesting, did it turn its shield toward the church? I think it did. Okay, that's kind of a lot of damage. That's a weird play. I think we might be able to kill it with the pistol from here.
Ready to fire.
In fact, we might be guaranteed to kill with the pistol. Yeah, weird decision making. Appreciated, though. Okay, you guys gotta do something. You guys have to make the madness stop over here. So, unfortunately, I'm a little worried about putting myself in a position where that thing can shoot me. But also, we do have to shoot it, right? Like, there's only so many ways to go about this. So what does the outside of the building look like at this point? It's not actually all that beat up on this side. I think we can probably afford to make a very aggressive move over here. Because all of its projectiles land at the same time, right? It's not staged like our Scarab. You should maybe be a little bit more careful because you could get outside real fast, and I have to be wary of the floor getting bashed out from under you. But also your thing is at a lot longer range, so we can afford to be further back. Out of curiosity, you don't quite have that. Alright, sharpshooter. We gotta move forward. Boy, it doesn't look like, given the way that line of fire is going through the corner of that building, it sure doesn't look like this is a real shot. We have some obstruction from our Scarab, which at this point I'm just going to roll backward because I'd like to keep it alive. And I think that it's not going to do a lot of good as a tank against this particular enemy.
What's our plan?
Alright, we get you... It's so hard to tell because of the way the line doesn't draw... Like right there, it sure looks like we're obstructed by the building. But if we just turn, that same shot looks okay because it always apparently draws the line of fire on above everything else, which is a really annoying way for that to be done. And we can stand out here. There's no other enemies left, right?
Targeting.
You know what? I'm just going to use that action point to keep moving.
Heading out.
It does not make any sense at all for me to fire that pistol shot. Alright. Okay, interesting. Oh, did he leave? I guess he got the building he was after. Yeah, key structures protected 0%. Well, alright, that was XP for people. And it's still considered mission complete. Are we going to get paid? My guess is we don't get paid. Again, the XP was the real reward there, so whatever. But I wouldn't turn my nose up at those materials. Yeah, that's a slightly tougher one. Okay, Haven saved. It turns out the objective to protect the buildings is a total fabrication. Weird. Sure, throw that in the queue. We need something in the queue. Speaking of needing something in the queue, we should probably have some things, in the queue. I don't really want to make armor, but I do want to make guns. Guns are like armor. So now that we have a guy who's potentially going to be able to get up on people and heavy weapon them, let's talk about building some heavy weapons. I'm sure we have some interesting designs. Let's turn off all that stuff. Show me just the heavies. So the classic Hell 2 cannon, which we haven't used in quite some time, does 180 damage and 250 shock. Certainly not a thing to turn your nose up at. The acid cannon does a lot less, and frankly I'm not really in love with acid as a mechanic because of how slow it is to work. Huh. Are the machine guns not classed as heavy weapons? Oh, maybe I don't have construction ability on any of the machine guns. Is that the case? Let's see here. Reverse engineer. We have a lot of guns that we need to learn how to reverse engineer. Yeah, it totally is the case. I do not know how to build any of this stuff. Alright, well... We have a lot of important, objective type missions to complete, so maybe we should let that complete. Oh, it looks like somebody finished up stimulation pack technology for us, so we can just go ahead and let that end. Alright, well, for the moment, I'm going to leave him holding that Deceptor, but we should break it down so we can build them ourselves later. So, there's no point in manufacturing a Hell 2 because we have one already, right? Yes, we do. Okay. I think I still might leave him with the machine gun, because I do like the armor breaking. But hey, look at that, we helped. That's still a layer. Alright, what else can you do? What else were you going to do? You were going to do stuff like this. That seems like a fine play. Actually, maybe you should go back and reload the Scarab?
Research complete.
Okay, so we now have Stim Packs, a potent stimulant that instills frenzy. That's pretty handy.
Research complete.
Also, this. Our analysis of the antediluvian texts, combined with the knowledge gathered by the Phoenix Project over the course of the last century, has forced us to acknowledge a shocking truth. The war against Earth is being waged by an alien entity. This being of unimaginable age and power is located on Yugoth, the 9th planet of our solar system. Yugoth's orbit is highly elliptical, coming close to Earth once every 17,000 years. When it does, Yugoth expels meteorites carrying various iterations of the Pandora virus, a bioweapon intended to radically transform the Earth's ecosystem to the advantage of the Yugothian entity. The entity communicates with its creatures via some form of quasi-telepathic signal. Evidence suggests that some human beings are sensitive to these transmissions, explaining the occurrence of the name Yugoth and variations thereof in the work of artists such as H.P. Lovecraft, Virginia Gutierrez, John Bellairs, Ralph Pabodie, and many others. I am not familiar with all of these people. This presumably represents an earlier, less powerful expression of the phenomenon that we have termed oniric delirium. We have concluded that the ultimate purpose of the entity is to create the ecological conditions that will allow it to come to Earth, and have hypothesized the existence of the Yugothian receptacle, a clone or replica to which the entity will transfer its consciousness. We believe the Pandorans are already in the process of accumulating biomass and genetic material for this purpose. That seems like a big jump.
Finally, we knew our enemy. The Pandora virus was only a tool. It was the hand that wielded it that truly mattered. The creature we came to call the Yugothian entity. It was old, perhaps older than the solar system itself. On Yugoth, the 9th planet, it lay waiting. For thousands of years, it slept in the outer darkness. But when Yugoth's orbit approached the Earth, it expelled the seeds of our destruction. Its mind reached out, haunting our dreams, infesting our stories. Its ultimate purpose was to transform our world into its own, to recreate whatever long-lost abyss it had come from. Its creatures were already assembling a new body it could inhabit. And when they were done, when the Yugothian entity came to Earth, nothing could stand in its way. Finally, we knew our enemy. The Pandora virus was only a tool.
You might say at this point we really knew our... Okay, there we go.
The creature
Finally, we have revealed the true... You might even say, finally, we knew our enemy. For New Jericho, this is excellent news. Finally, a proper war with clear sides, and they know which side they're on. Well, there's no more time for traitors or accommodationists. For Sanhedrian, it's now a question of philosophy. Do they want to seize the Master's tools and transform the world, or destroy this cosmic hierarchy and let things take their own course? The answer will have to be reached democratically. The disciples of Anu have no official statement on any parallels between the Yugothian entity and their dead god. The liturgy of the divine flesh draws close, and they have more important things to focus on than the ravings of those trapped in ideologies of the old world. So as always, New Jericho hates everyone, everyone hates New Jericho. I do feel like I gotta say, at this point, I'm pretty done with And Then Cthulhu as a school of narrative design. Like, it's not that it's a bad idea, it's just that it's an extremely played idea. And I get the attraction. I am speaking as a person who is currently running a Call of Cthulhu RPG campaign. But it just, in video games especially, just maybe we could do anything else for a little while, right? I don't know. I don't know when this thing went into production. Maybe it was long enough ago that was not quite so tired. So we've been given a new research, it seems. Is the advanced Tiamat development finished by somebody else? It looks like it was. Cool. Tiamat range up. Not really super relevant. Alright, the missionary center technology. The purpose of missionary centers is to use psychotropic substances to aid the conversion process. Oh, brainwashing. Cool. And then we have been given the moon mission preparation, because if you want to fight the Ugothian entity on Ugoth, of course, you must first go to the moon. Makes total sense to me. All aircraft speed is increased. Yo, that's actually great. Inspired by our theories regarding the Ugothian entity, a Synedrian science team has come up with an incredibly ambitious proposal to send a probe to the moon looking for evidence of previous attacks on our planet. Also, I do feel like the, I think we should probably get this done first. The virophage weapons sound good, though. I think it does undercut the themes of the story a little bit for it to actually have been aliens the whole time. Like, I really liked the idea that the game was about in a very direct way, like the harms of climate change, the harms of not respecting the ecology that we depend on to survive, and how it was really us who caused the problem. As soon as it starts to be, but actually it was aliens, then all of a sudden humanity's not really culpable anymore, and that really weakens the plot for me. I don't know, I guess these games are not really about plot in a pretty real way, but still I don't like it. Alright, let's just soldier onward here. Okay, for some reason that Explorer didn't finish when it finished. Alright, good news. There are people waiting at this base to be picked up. So let's just transfer one of these dudes, probably Curtis Grandpa Ambrose, onto the Manticore. Congratulations, new guy. And then we're going to sit here for a while and let everybody heal up. Am I right in thinking that... Where are we at here? Somebody on the Manticore 2 had a level up to spend, didn't they? Am I remembering correctly? Yeah, you. I think we probably don't need manual control. It just doesn't come up very much. But Vanessa Braga could certainly use some strength. And then also, you know what? Willpower's not that important for a technician. I mean, it's important for everybody in some senses, but... 16... Like, getting to 20 strength seems a little... Nah, I'm gonna do it. And then we'll put a point into speed. And a point into willpower, why not? Okay, because willpower's important for everybody in terms of, like, resisting enemy psychic attack, and then also not freaking out when things go wrong. It all matters. But that strength boost is going to be so helpful. Also, while I'm looking at it, why don't we re-ammo your gun? Okay, so you guys are chilling for a while, like a good long while. I mean, we may as well level up the sniper there, too. Hey, surprise, you're taking... Honestly, handgun proficiency with plus 20% damage dealt. It's pretty alright. And then, do I even care about extreme focus? We really don't Overwatch that much in this game. The problem is that the enemies are so dangerous. It has gotten to the point, right, where the enemies are so dangerous that it's hard to give up action points on your own turn. When you could just... It's hard to do Overwatch when you could be using the action points on your own turn in a way that's almost certainly going to be more valuable. If I unpause this, are you ever going to complete that exploration? No, it looks like you are not. Bye. There we go. Okay, well, apparently that was the Phoenix base. We can chill here until everybody's cool again, I guess, and then we can explore some more. I guess we should have a look at this base. Yeah, turn this back on. Turn this back on. Can't really build anything here just yet, but it'll be good to have the power running. What does it cost to build a mist repeller? 250? Okay. That's not too bad. We could do some trading. Who's near a place that can trade for materials? Yeah, we can reroute Manticore 1. They'll want to trade tech. I'd much rather trade food. Okay, food for materials. It is not very much, huh? I mean, it'll have to do. also move over to here and trade materials. Okay, that's a little bit better. I feel a little better with all this. And just as I start feeling better in-game, I start feeling much worse in in the real world. Ooh, I think I might not be 100% over what I was under before. I know there's no mist there right now, but let's get the mist repeller up and running immediately, and then if it turns out to be, you know, if mist starts spreading over there, we could be ready for it, right? Alright, and I'm assuming Tiamat 3 just never... Okay. I never gave them another order. There's no reason for them to sit here before the power's back on, because they can't replenish here anyway, right? Also, this place doesn't actually have living quarters, which I didn't notice. That's a thing we ought to fix. What's that cost? $250 again? The best way to get that might well be to just go and explore a little bit with the Tiamat. Alright, we're getting lots of stuff done. Manufacturing does not have anything in the queue, and we should have stuff in the queue, probably. Alright, what do we want here? So wait, we build CRB 3s, but our infiltrator has a CRB 4, right? Is it just like a level of crossbow I'm not allowed to make? Or... Oh no, this is the poison crossbow. The CRB 3 is a non-poison weapon. Yeah, it's just a flat damage. Oh, well why would you ever do that? This thing's so much better. Stim packs require mutagens. That's interesting. What do we want to build, though? Like, what do we need right now? It's actually a tough question. I'm not 100% sure what we need. We need to do some reverse engineering, because I would love to get access to those different sniper rifles. We built a subjugator, so we have access to a sniper rifle that does virus if we want it, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure it's a thing we'll ever use. It's probably just grenades for the moment, right? Like, we're very low on grenades. And we still haven't really gotten to try out the fire grenades, but I have to admit, I'm definitely drawn to the idea of a grenade that can properly destroy cover. Okay, so they'll be fine. Also, it's New Jericho, so like I wasn't super inclined to help them in the first place, but they'll be okay. Okay, a scavenging site. Threat level high, but this could be exactly what we need. We just have to be ready to bail on this if it makes sense to bail on it. Do not go sacrificing important people for some materials. You cannot buy a person. Sometimes in video games, that's not the case. In this video game, it's very much the case. Okay, you don't need to be carrying all that. Everybody else is cool and good and ready to go, despite what it says here. Okay. Threat level high enough that I'm nervous. Like I said, we're gonna be very careful, and we're gonna not be afraid to run away. I believe we get nothing at all if we run. But like I'm saying, it's very important that nobody else die for a while at least while we're building up. Who knows how close to the end of the game we are? The fact that we are now like we know the enemy leads me to believe that we're pretty close to the end. So I don't think we have a lot of time to train up new troops, but I don't know. I guess we could delay the end if we really need to. It tends to be the case that you get to determine the pace on these sorts of things. I do love our murder blimp. What a ridiculous thing. Alright, what do we see? It's a Chiron. Hey, remember when sometimes Chirons weren't the scary ones? When they would just, like, shoot worms at us or whatever? Alright, so we have 3 material boxes and 2 food boxes right next to us. I actually really like that. And then there's 2 more material boxes over here. So I think the move is probably try not to piss off the Chiron this turn. Try to take up positions that will allow us to dunk on the Chiron real bad next turn. And try not to drive the Armadillo through too much of the buildings around. Is there really another one? There is. This one is a worm one. So less bad. It could be worse. Neither of them seem to be alerted, so I think I'm... Well, hold on. Let's not put you in standby just yet. Alright. Pablo needs to get... There's no roof on this building. I was going to say needs to get on the roof. Maybe what Pablo needs to do is just get in a position to shoot at the other Chiron. That's not a great shot, in my opinion. This is actually not able to see... Okay, this is alright. I'm a little worried that this is too exposed, like he might be visible to the enemies here. And we're potentially going to have a worm problem as well. I don't know exactly what that thing's going to do. It might shoot the worms over at these boxes, but hard to say. We're going to run for there, and you're just going to stay low because you're very stealthy. Right? Look how stealthy you are. Nobody's even aware. Speaking of, very stealthy. Oh, also there's an Arthron with a launcher arm and a... Man, that's no good. That's no good at all. Well, it doesn't know what's up. I could just poison it now. It'll become alerted, but it won't know, like, why it's alert. I'm going to get behind some cover. Okay, that's bad. That's also launcher arm machine gun. Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about running. Just like 2 launcher arms and also this guy all at the same time, it's a lot to deal with. Especially when your team doesn't have all of the best stuff just yet. Might be too dangerous for the reward. Again, the real reward here would basically be the experience. And I'd be comfortable doing this with the Manticore 2 team, like the really good guys, but this is deeply terrifying. I'm going to go ahead and move you up because you're stealthy. Basically, I'm going to try to get into positions where we can fight or we can run, and then pass the turn and see what happens and maybe run. At least be ready to run. Because, like, there's a number of people here that we cannot afford to lose. I definitely don't want to start in with anybody. I'm thinking about maybe an Overwatch here. It's really hard to know what this guy's going to do. I assume this guy's going to move forward just enough to be able to shoot at that food crate there, and then shoot at that food crate there, which probably means that an Overwatch doesn't do anything.
On the move.
I think I'm okay with that, though. And if he decides to do something else, then maybe we blast him with the acid. Acid as an Overwatch tool is a little bit more sensible, I think, than acid as a thing you do on your turn, because at the very least,
Moving.
I think acid damage is done... No, acid damage is done at the beginning of the enemy turn, so actually it's not any better. Alright, well, you also get ready to Overwatch a dude, and I guess let's see what happens. A lot's going to come down to what the Chirons choose to do. Okay, it's a decent shot. It seems like he had already keyed in his action and was unable to respond to what we did. Weirdly, he did not get shot at by the sniper. Okay, yeah. So see, it's like on some missions, the enemies are aware of you immediately, and on some they aren't, and I don't really have any sense of which ones are which. But that could, I guess, have just been him shooting at materials, but I don't think it was. He was definitely shooting at, like, the center of my group of units. So yeah, we're all leaving, then. This is what we're doing. That's additional Arthrons even beyond what we saw. Yeah. Zero chance of survival, especially with that huge shot that they pulled off. I think everybody's in range to get out. Also, I don't actually know how the game classes difficulty, but oh, you're joking. He is one space away from escape on every... Okay, well, he has dash, though.
No time to
It's
lose.
wild, though, that his movement range ended exactly at the exit on every side. Okay, so he's clear. You're clear. Yeah, you are pulling out for sure, my friend. This is way beyond doable, like so far beyond doable. You probably can't make it out, but you are also very sneaky. Yes, I know there are enemies. We already knew that. That's not new information. You don't have to stop for that.
Let's roll.
So I'm going to pull everybody out except for... I'm going to pull out everybody I can, and then we'll worry about the people who didn't make it out later. By which I mean just the infiltrator. He'll make it out. Yeah, I don't know how the game figures its difficulty, but I sure hope that it considers the Arthrons with the grenade launchers to be a different class of enemy than the Arthrons without, because they are, like, they are considerably different enemies. Yeah, okay. You are out of abilities. You're just gonna pass the turn. A little bit of friendly fire there, which I appreciate. I don't know if we're gonna... Do we get any XP at all when we do this? Probably not. But it would be cool if we got some, you know... Some enemies got damaged. We are even responsible for a small amount of that. My guess is, the way they sort of like hyped up the modularity of the enemies and stuff, that the game considers all Arthrons to be the same for the purposes of mission difficulty, but boy, that launcher arm is so much more terrifying than any of the other configurations. You know, because at least you could try to rely on cover and stuff. It's not super effective against the machine gun enemies. They do always seem to be able to shoot your head no matter what the situation. But you can reduce some of that damage with cover. The launcher just gets you, and it gets you really hard all the time. You do not need to keep reporting to me on the enemies that we already know are present. That seriously, we are good on that, man. Yeah, that mission was not even remotely doable. What an absurd... The game really does throw just an absurd number of enemies at you on a bunch of these missions. Okay, we got some stuff there. We got to level up for somebody even. We got to go back to base now. In fact, we got to go back to a different base than the nearby base because we need a place where the hospital works. But yeah, that was something. You know, honestly, by the time we get back to the Southeast Asia base, it's possible that the medical site there will be up and running. Actually, the generator there already works, right? Was that the same? Yeah, the generator and the hospital are both totally functional here. So yeah, let's go back there. Also, no living quarters in this one, so cannot heal our stamina damage. Let's go ahead and do that, though, before I forget. We'll key in that movement. And then I think this'll be where we call it for today. That was maybe not the most reinforcing Day of Phoenix point we've ever had. It wasn't quite as bad as the last episode, but still, I'm a little worried that maybe we're not ready for what's coming. That is going to be it for us for today, though. We are out of time. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, when hopefully we have our stuff together a little bit more, because it sounds like it's about to get difficult. And we'll see you then.